South Korea's military apologizes for a bombing misfire that injured at least 29 people last week. The country's Air Force chief says the unprecedented accident should never have happened and should never happen again. An initial investigation has found that the lead pilot did not double-check the target coordinates. Another pilot also dropped his bombs on a South Korean village without noticing the wrong coordinates. The accident happened during South Korea's annual military drills with the U.S. Live fire exercises have been suspended due to the misfire. Forces from Moscow further advanced in the key Russian region of Kursk. They are reportedly encircling Ukrainian soldiers in the area to force them to flee or surrender. Ukrainian troops have seized about 1,300 square kilometers of the region in an attempt to gain a bargaining chip in future negotiations. Though by February, Russia had taken back at least 800 square kilometers of the territory. In recent days, Moscow launched a major paratrooper offensive from multiple directions that threatened to cut off Ukraine's supply lines. On Sunday, Russian forces recaptured 3 more settlements in Kursk after special forces crept for miles through a gas pipeline in an attempt to surprise Ukrainian forces. Saudi Arabia will host talks between U.S. diplomats and Ukrainian officials on ending the war. Kyiv's President Volodymyr Zelensky is already heading to the Gulf nation to meet its leader ahead of the discussions.
Over 500,000 air travelers are stranded in Germany after the country's airport workers launched a 24-hour strike. The operator of Germany's busiest airport in Frankfurt says delays and cancellations were expected on Monday and Tuesday. The strike by the Verdi Union impacts 13 airports, including those in Munich, Berlin, and Dusseldorf. German airport personnel are demanding an 8% wage increase to help them cope with rising costs of living. The Vatican says Pope Francis had a quiet night Sunday and is still resting at a Rome hospital. The 88-year-old pontiff showed signs of improvement over the weekend. A Vatican update said he's responding well to treatment for double pneumonia. The Pope's written Angelus message on Sunday thanked his doctors and healthcare workers. The pontiff has been in the hospital since February 14. He does not have a fever, but his doctors want to see more positive results in the coming days. Renewed speculation over a reported arrest order by the International Criminal Court for ex-Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte. The Marcos Jr. administration cannot confirm if such an order has been issued, but Duterte insists he does not deserve to be arrested. Adrian Ayalin has tonight's top story.
The Office of the Prosecutor of the International Criminal Court did not deny nor confirm talks about the supposed arrest warrant against former President Rodrigo Duterte. The ICC OTP stressed the importance of confidentiality as they want to protect the integrity of their investigations and ensure the safety of victims and witnesses. The international body just confirmed that the probe on crimes allegedly committed from 2011 to 2019 in the so-called war on drugs is still ongoing. But Philippine officials say no arrest warrant has been issued so far.
Handa naman po ang law enforcement agencies natin kung ano po ang sinasabi ng batas, kung kinakailangan po na iserve yung warrant of arrest because of the request of Interpol. Ano man po ang mangyayari, basta po nasa legal, gagawin po yan ng pamahalaan.
The Philippine National Police, though, is ready to implement an arrest if there is a request from the International Criminal Police Organization or Interpol.
We are prepared for any eventualities po in case po na meron pong tulong na hihingin sa atin ng Interpol po.
The Department of Justice and Malacanang had said that while the Philippines under Duterte withdrew from the ICC in 2019, the Philippines remains a member of the Interpol. The DOJ, however, clarified that an arrest warrant will have to undergo evaluation as it passes through the National Central Bureau, composed of the Philippine National Police, Bureau of Immigration, and the National Bureau of Investigation.
Ang papel lang naman po namin dito is to process whatever comes to our tables in our offices. Kaya siguro it might be a bit premature to be talking about what will happen once there is an issuance of a warrant of arrest. But we are ready to receive it, and we are also ready to process it if in case it comes from the Interpol.
Duterte's attendance at a Thanksgiving rally in Hong Kong over the weekend further fueled speculations an arrest warrant is forthcoming. But Duterte says he will face it head-on and assured the public that he is coming back to the Philippines.
Higiin ko na lang sa inyo, total, kung ganito man talaga ang swerte ko sa buhay, okay lang, tatanggapin ko yan. Wala tayong magawa eh. Hulihin tayo kung ikulong tayo. Meantime, mag-contribute kayo, baski $5, $10, para paglabas ko sa presuhan, pagawaan ninyo akong monumento katabi ni Rizal.
Siguro po ang pagdideklara ng isang tao na hero, dapat hindi po siya ang nagsasabi nun. Taong bayan ang magsasabi kung siya ay naging hero at paggawan siya ng monumento.
Former Chief Presidential Legal Counsel Attorney Salvador Panelo meanwhile insists the Philippine government would be violating the Constitution if it helps in arresting Duterte.
Any government action that will help in the arrest of President Duterte made by foreign institutions is in violation of the Constitution. The Interpol is just an agency that facilitates or share information. It doesn't have the power to arrest. It's the government that will do it for the Interpol. And the Interpol is doing it for the ICC. ICC has no jurisdiction.
The families of drug war victims, for their part, said they have long been waiting for an arrest warrant against the man responsible for their kin's death.
Siyempre po kami ay hopeful po kaming mga pamilya dahil matagal kami inaasahan na magkaroon ng arrest warrant para po, kumbaga, investigasyon at para na rin siyempre para makamit na namin yung justisya.
ICC Assistant to Counsel Cristina Conti says the issuance of an arrest order against Duterte is possible even as the ICC investigation is still ongoing.
The rules of the International Criminal Court state that it could either be a summons or a warrant of arrest even pending investigation. Because as soon as you can determine that this person is quote-unquote most responsible or those who bear the greatest responsibility for crimes against humanity and they have the propensity to evade this, then a warrant of arrest is better issued just to make sure that they will face trial before the court.
Adrian Ayalin, ABS-CBN News.
Philippine Vice President Sara Duterte admits she's reluctant to endorse any candidate after her political breakup with President Marcos Jr. But she's already teasing her possible bid for the presidency in 2028. This report from Katrina Domingo.
Warm chants welcomed Vice President Sara Duterte and former President Rodrigo Duterte as they arrived separately in the Southorn Stadium in Wan Chai, Hong Kong on March 9. The cheering intensified when the former president mentioned his daughter and her possible presidential bid in 2028.
Yung Inday na, yun ang maldita. Sinabi ko sa inyo, maliit pa yan si Inday. Sinabi ko na sa inyo, maldita yan, bantay kayo. So, nakita nila nagbugbog ng pulis. Hindi lang yun. Hindi, yung nakita lang ninyo sa TV, maraming binugbog yan, mga driver namin. Paano yan si Inday? Bright, smart, pero mainit ang ulo. Maswerte kayo kung yan ang magsunod sa akin. Kasi malapit na tayo talaga sa gira. Mamili kayo ng kalaban.
In a separate speech, Vice President Duterte thanked overseas Filipino workers for bolstering her 2022 bid and jested that she looks forward to their continued support in 2028.
Papasalamat po ako dahil from 2016 hanggang 2025 ay nandyan pa rin kayo at nandito pa rin kayo para sa bayan. Personal pa rin ang pagpapasalamat ko sa inyong lahat, sa tulong ninyo, sa kampanya ninyo, sa suporta ninyo para sa akin at sa boto ninyo noong nakaraang halalan noong 2020 at sa susunod na halalan sa 2020. Joke lang.
The vice president has earlier said that she would only announce her plans for the 2028 national elections sometime next year, when she is more certain about her decision. While senatorial candidates allied with the Duterte family also attended the gathering in Hong Kong, the vice president stopped short of directly endorsing them, saying that she is now hesitant to endorse candidates after her unit team with Ferdinand Marcos Jr. in 2022 ended up in shambles last year.
Kaya siguro dapat sa darating na halalan, pag-isipan na natin ang ating iboboto. Sabi ko nga sa inyo, nadala na ako, na-scam na ako, nabudol na ako.
The vice president instead cautioned voters against vote-buying schemes and reminded them to vote based on track records and accomplishments instead of popularity or name recall.
Mahilig tayo sa sikat. Mahilig tayo sa magaling kumanta, sumayaw dito sa stage. Mahilig tayo sa nagpapa-amuse, nagpapatawa sa atin. At mahilig tayo sa hindi natin tinitingnan kung ano ba yung karakter, totoong karakter ng tao sa likod ng mukha niya sa TV. Binigay ba niya ang pangako niya sa'yo? O iniwanan ka lang niya sa ere? Hindi dahil Duterte ang apelido ay iboboto niyo na. Pag-isipan ninyo, ano ba ang dala niya sa lamesa? Ano ba ang dala niya para sa bayan?
The second in command also took a swipe at the administration, saying that it has already abandoned the office of the vice president.
Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat. Dahil kayo lang po ang sumusuporta sa OVP, ang buong gobyerno po ay iniwanan na po ang OVP.
Malacanang refutes Duterte's claim, underscoring that only the vice president can be blamed for the OVP's slashed budget this year.
Yan na naman po ang nais naman nilang iparating. Maging kaawa-awa ang OVP, maging kaawa-awa ang vice president. Wala pong nang iwan sa kanya, baka po siya po ang nang iwan sa gobyerno.
Vice President Sara Duterte is set to face an impeachment trial in mid-2025 when the Senate convenes as an impeachment court that will decide whether or not she deserves to be ousted and perpetually disqualified from public office. So far, the OVP has yet to announce when the Vice President will return to Manila, but assured the public that she will attend the Araw ng Davao festivities this week. Katrina Domingo, ABS-CBN News.